Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Lehman. And before I go on, guys, I want to say happy Saturday and good morning to everybody. Yeah, it's like early in the morning. Because here's the thing about painting, repainting dolls. Yeah, you're gonna have to start early in the morning. Sometimes I start like late in the afternoon, but who cares? So today is the video number 2 to the doll repaint series. Now I'm gonna give you hints on the first thing, so a few things that I didn't give a hint. But I'm gonna show you guys what happened to the doll's eyes, and then I'm gonna show you guys some things that I've been that what why I do what I do when it comes down to it. Now, like I said, when you get the doll, if you want to cut the backing out of her eyes, you can. It does not take that much. Now, basically, what you want to do is heat that head up and cut it off. A Dremel tool will work, but I suggest one thing is you avoid, yeah, you avoid the ears. As you can see, I'm way above the ears and I'm way above the headline. Now, once you're done, you do this. If you guys are wondering, this is just an 18-inch doll stand. I'm gonna put it back together again, and I use it as a prop to help me to keep from touching the doll when I paint her. So as you can see, this doll is doing pretty freaking good for a doll head. And I do have one video that's gonna be in here that's gonna have a reveal of something new that I've ordered, something cool I've ordered. Yay! So I got another one coming. But other than that, yeah. So yes, once you're done, you do this. And I'm sorry guys, I have a notification on my tablet. So I'm gonna show you guys how you do when it comes to the back of her eye. Now, here's the thing when it comes to me. She wears a size 14 doll eye. I already know this because I've put it in 1,000 times. So basically, I know a lot of people. So basically, I cannot. Oh, I'm sorry. One of my friends actually texted me. Hold up, guys. I gotta get this needle out of here for. I end up stabbing myself in the hand, and I ain't got time to be going to the hospital. That's how dangerous doll customizing can be. So basically, what I'm doing here is I am removing all my eyes. And most of the time, I already know what I want to do because I'm going to show you guys the color of this doll skin is going to be. And this is it. It's called Roasted Espresso. This is her skin color. And I bought that specifically. And this is the mango. This is the mango paint. And you can get this from Target for about like $1.75. And I will be getting another bottle of this because I haven't. Well, actually, I'm gonna hold out on getting the paint for this other doll that I'm gonna be painting because once my little surprise get here, I'm gonna have to go up there with her to the store and match her skin tone. So yeah. But other than that, yay, yay, yay. So the first thing I want to show you guys do is how you can put the eyes in this doll head once the backing is cut out. So basically, now you can do any kind of eye in this doll. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna, for example, if I'm gonna use this fantasy eye right quick, and what I do is I actually insert it onto the uh, plastic, the sticky tack, and this stuff is actually just poster putty. So basically, what you want to do is get your doll head and you want to insert it into the head. And use the tack to help you put it in there. And the problem, I don't use fantasy eyes on these dolls often because of the way they're made. Because this doll is not going to be a fantasy doll. She doesn't need a fantasy eye. I'm going to show you what happens. Now you understand why I cut the hole out of the back of my head. Now I can do this every single time. So this is what it looks like when it's inside. And yeah, like I said, this little item is just for her. So basically, as you can see, the fantasy eye does fit, but it's too large. And it's not curved enough, but it does have its advantages. So yay, So basically, after you're done with all that, I'm going to show you now that, like I said, the size for this doll is a size 14i. And I'm going to show you what a 14i looks like. I've already chosen her eye color. I'm probably going to do blue or brown because she's going to be dark skin. And this is a size 14i. I do have size 16 and up, but 14 is usually my minimum because all my dolls pretty much will use 14, even my smart doll. So I insert the eye onto the putty. And believe me, I know it sounds weird, but it actually helps. I see a lot of people trying to put the eye on without doing this, and they have so much trouble. But I discovered a way to do it without me having to fight with the doll eye. So basically, all I do is insert, and the beauty about it is I can move it around before I settle on which way it goes. So, yep. So there you go. The doll has putty and the eye. So I basically, this is how I insert my doll eye in. And this is why I cut the back out of it, because it's easier. And then the beauty about it, if I want to change the eye out, I can. This is why I do this. And I know a lot of people like to do it the old-fashioned way. They like to heat the face up. But the reason why I don't heat the face up is because, especially with my kind of um, repaint, is something you don't want to screw around with. Really, you really don't want to damage it. So, when it comes to doing your doll eye, you're fine. Now, the next video, I'm going to tell you guys, the next video, I'm going to show you the materials I use. So, you guys know I use the poster tag, in which I get it from, like, Walmart or Target. Target sell it for about $2, guys. $2 a pack. And you get about 4 strips of it, and they're pretty big. Pretty big. And this stuff will last you for a long time because it doesn't go anywhere. I just keep it stuck on the side of this can here. And I keep all my eyes down in here, as well as a lot of other stuff that I have here in the house. So, yeah, it does help to do that, guys. It does help. So, if you're looking for this poster tag, you can go to Art Supply Store, or you can just go to Target. Which, that's pretty much what I do when I go to Target. And I find this stuff, and it's inexpensive to me. So, now the first thing we're going to do is we are going to, on this video, we're going to also start laying down our doll color. Yeah, our doll paint. So, unfortunately, when you're painting your doll, you don't want to touch her. Now, this one right here, I will come back as it goes through. Now, I will say the rules once again. When you're painting dolls like this, you need to not touch them. So find something like this is an 18-inch doll stand, or make something. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you have something that you can set that head on, and perfect. If you're looking for a body, it's over here in the chair. Now, the first thing you need to do is get your paint. Choose your paint before time. If you want her purple, then you paint her purple. Do not switch out your paint unless you're doing a calico girl. But this girl here will be normal. She will be a African American character. And I do have one warning. A lot of people, somebody asked me something about when do I name my dogs. My dog's name does not come to me until their body and head are reunited. Now, right now, the kitchen is not what we need. What we need is paint. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I am going to use this paint to paint. Now, like I said before, when it comes to painting a doll, what you need is your water, in which I only have a little, as well as a nice sized paintbrush. And this medium sized paintbrush will do just fine. Her head isn't that big, and that's why I bought her, because her head isn't that big. Her head is not more of a child head. Now, I don't want to put a lot of paint on this at all. Now, like I said, she's starting out. And first thing I do is go across the forehead. Now, this first coat of paint is not going to cover her. And that's what I want. You see that little dark area there? You don't want that on there. You want to pull it out always. And just get everything ready. Go around the head. You can even paint the head cap, guys. you can paint the scalp. And like I said, when it comes to this girl, this is her first coat of paint. This is her very first coat. So, and she's going to look wet and shiny, but yeah, that's what you want. This is her first coat of paint, so you're not going to even worry about this coat at first, but stick with the rules. Continue to paint this doll through and through with no problem. And here's the thing about her. When it comes to these dolls, they don't have that protective coating that Barbie dolls have on their bodies. And they don't have it on the head, nor do they have it on the body. This is why the body and the head is so easy to paint. And I'm telling you, these dolls will not give you any trouble or guff about it. Now, basically, you will basically start this off as a very, very thin coat. Make sure there's no pooling, meaning there's no big clumps of paint in one spot. You want it very thin. Get inside the ears. Get around the head. Get behind the ears. Because sometimes I have a bad habit of kind of just missing behind the ears when I do that. So I have to come back and just start doing this over and over again. I do this with a paintbrush and not a sponge brush because sponge brushes seem to have like air bubbles in them. And this is a very thin coat, guys. As you can see, it's not even covering her. You can still see her original skin tone into the paint. And that's what you want. That's all it is to repainting this doll, is you have to be very quietly and very carefully. Now, one of the biggest rules is once you're done painting, like I said, when that first coat go down, it doesn't matter which way it goes. It's those last coats that you have to worry about which way to go. Because as you're painting, you need to start going in one direction. And you have to do multiple layers of this. Multiple layers. Now, when it comes, because this is a brown paint, she'll probably be covered in about 3 to 4 coats. So, yeah. I always count my coats as 5. Always 5. So, yeah. And don't try to rush your character either, guys. Just let her do whatever she wants to do. Because as you're painting and as she goes through, she will literally come out the way she wants to come out. It's not you who will dictate who she is or what her character is. Her character will name herself. So, I'm done with this coat. Now, main rule of this coat is this. Allow this to dry for 2 hours, guys. No more. Well, you can let it do it more, but no less. 2 hours. Because if you come back on here with wet paint again, guess what's going to happen? All your work that you did on the first layer is going to come off. You don't have to spray it with any sealant once you put that first layer down. You just have to let it dry. That's the key to keeping things going. Just let the paint dry. Now, when I come back on here with another video, guys, I promise you, she will be further along. She'll be like on by like the 3rd or the 4th paint. Yeah. But you will see what I mean. But I'm telling you, do not paint this again until she's completely 150% dry. So it'll take about, I say 2 hours. Not 2 minutes, 2 hours. Even if you do use a little heat guns where you can like put her underneath there, don't. Just let her dry. And then if you kind of get bored and you want to do something else, go eat, go do something, go walk around the house, go do exercise. It doesn't matter what you do. Just do something that you please. And yes, I do the head cap. Don't worry about the head cap. But other than that, guys, let her dry. Let her completely dry. That way the paint will adhere and it will stick completely to the thing. Now, here's this. You cannot change your mind about this. Because once you put this on her and once it dries, it locks in and it will stain your plastic. So, yeah. So, yeah, it will stain your plastic. This paint will stain. Now, if you're dyeing her, like I said, please do outside. That way you don't have to worry about your house getting painted another color. Now, a lot of people, and I did get one question I forgot to answer. Someone asked me, do I take my doll apart? The answer is no. I do not take her apart. The head is the only thing that comes off my dolls. The body is still intact. She will be painted just like this. There will be no taking apart. Now, only kind of doll that you can take apart is strong BJD. This doll is not designed to come apart at all. So that means you're going to have to pull this doll up. You're going to have to basically stretch her out and push her in funny directions when it comes to painting her. Now, as this head is drying, I suggest when you're doing the head, you go ahead and start on the body. Start with at least the upper half. And paint everything, guys. Everything. Even though you don't feel that you need it, paint it. I don't care what it is. Now, as for the joints, unfortunately, these joints do peel because this doll moves. If you can try to find a way to dye the joints, that would be great. But yes. And don't worry, guys. This thing is clean. So, yeah. Where her head is doing what it's got to do, go ahead and start on the upper body. Because it doesn't matter. Because like I said, choose your paint and make a lot of it. If you decide to mix your own paint, make a lot of it. I mean, make tons of it. Now, the body is going to require more paint on top of it than the other one. But I paint everything. All of the sections of doll. Like I said, when it comes to the first coat, it's just the first coat. Don't worry about it. That first coat, just make sure you get no pooling. Make sure you go ahead and get the upper layer of that body and allow her to sit and dry. Because she's gonna take plenty of time to dry. That gives the body plenty of time to do what it needs to do to set up. And I will do only the top half first. When I first do my doll, I will always do only the top half. I will only do that. And like I said, I do not take these dolls apart. I only take off the head. Try not to paint the booty in the first and that upper layer until after the top layer is completely dry. Now notice you're going to get some scratches and scrapes because hell, you're scratching off because I do this all the time. But the beauty about this paint is you get to go back over. You got enough paint. You go back over and you redo her again. So it's no big deal. Now, you are going to need Mod Podge, guys. I always know that. I do use Mod Podge on my dolls. So when it comes to me, I will stretch her arms out and get into the grooves, into the cracks, into the crevices underneath the arm, underneath the armpit. And I try to get that whole area with that first layer of paint. Even the joints. I try to do that as well because once I put the glue on the joints, at least some of the joints will be paint. I don't try to do like 100%. There's no such thing as a 100% doll. Unless you're painting her black. Now, I know that black works. Okay, guys, it's getting 19 minutes. And as you can see, ta-da, she's already a quarter of the way ready. So I'm going to call off on this one, and I'm going to set her down. I'm sorry, guys. You're going to have to touch the body every now and then, so don't worry about that. And make sure you put your lid back on your paint. But I'm going to call off on this one, and the next time you see her, she'll be halfway done. But those are some of the rules, and in the next video, I'm going to show you how the stuff that I use. Until then, guys, see ya.